Good afternoon, Patriots, and welcome to another edition of Occam's Razor. As always, I'm your host, RP, and joining me live in the studio, my good friend and co-host, M3. Hi, baby. Thank you. Hey, everybody, do me a favor. Follow Real Red Pill Girlfriend's lead, and don't forget to like and share this broadcast. You guys, I got some mail. We're going to be going over that. We're going to be talking about these new posts. We're going to talk about my video from yesterday because it's very important. If you haven't seen it, you need to do that after this broadcast. It's happening, guys. It's going down. Thank you so much to everyone for being here with us. Despite what the press might tell you, I think things are going in the right direction. Just want to say hello to all of the Patriots from across the globe. EOJG, sorry you feel that way, buddy, but it's okay. You're going to be here at the same time as us, and no one's going to make you feel bad for not believing. Hallelujah is right. All right, gang. Please, everyone, do sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. Father's Day is finally here, and now you can let Dad put floodlights anywhere he wants around the home or office without spending a fortune. The brand new ultra-bright wireless floodlight with motion detectors makes it easy to illuminate all the dark spots in your yard. You can install it anywhere because it's wireless. You never need to worry about buying batteries because it's solar powered with a powerful battery storage pack. The Night Solar Light Ultra Bright Wireless Floodlight is the perfect outdoor light because it's a floodlight with motion detectors, and it doubles as an entertainment light for the patio and barbecue with a click of a button. Take a trip to the hardware store and you'll find out the average cost per outdoor light is around $50, and then installation could cost between $70 and $120 per light. That's almost $200. Now, unless you're okay with spending a few $100s for floodlights, then options previously were limited. Now you can light up your home with a Night Solar Light wireless floodlights and enjoy more of your yard in the evening. Plus, you'll have peace of mind knowing your property is safer. Best of all, you don't have to spend a fortune to do it. You can get Night Solar Light wireless floodlights with motion detectors for as little as $13.64 each during Home Safety Week. That's a total savings of 52% off, plus you get free shipping. So visit nightsolarlight.com. That's nightsolarlight.com and get Dad the perfect gift this Father's Day. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel. Welcome back, everyone. I want to say special thank you to nightsolarlight.com for choosing to sponsor this broadcast. You guys, I just want everybody to know that the sponsors that I have on this channel, I think they are good products, and more importantly, they allow me to say whatever I want. I have never had a sponsor come to me and say, you need to change your message. We don't like the stuff that you're posting. They are all patriot companies. They all want me to put out the truth. So thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who has supported the channel, either by supporting my sponsors or supporting us directly. I am still not getting the right numbers. So if I can get a count of how many people are here and how many likes we have, I would appreciate it. If you have not liked the show yet, please consider doing that. And also join me in welcoming to the broadcast, Methods. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I got a bit of a kink in my neck, so that's why I'm sitting down. It was, it wasn't good there. It still hurts. I need somebody to crack my back, I think.
Not getting younger. But yeah, speaking of not getting younger, Joe Savage out there in the chat says it's his birthday. So happy birthday, Joe.
Hey.
Much love to you too, and much love to your son, who apparently loves the shows that we do as well. So yeah, everybody give us 17 for Joe Savage on his birthday.
Oh yeah, you guys give us 17 in the chat. Wish Joe Savage a happy birthday. Thank you so much, Mr. Savage. We appreciate you being here, and thank you for sharing the truth with the next generation. You know, I got a very important letter today. I got several letters. I actually wanted to go over them. I got a letter from someone who I don't have the authority to release their name, but this is somebody who's written me in the past. I do want to show this drawing that they did right there of a bunch of Pepes, and the Pepe, the big one, says, if you kids don't pay attention and learn this, they're going to eat your legs in a Chinese restaurant. So clearly that is a direct message to all the baby frogs out there. And this person, I've mentioned them before. I'll say it's a Texas patriot. They've written me several different times about the need for prayer in school. And if everybody remembers when we got that false tip in the chat in regards to prayers in schools being reinstated, and I squealed. It was out of excitement because I knew that this patriot was going to be so happy if it was true. Unfortunately, it's not. We've still got some work to do, but this is something that I do agree with him on. Prayer in school, I believe, is foundational to giving our children that moral compass that they need. Hold on. Because without that moral compass, you kind of get the situation that we're seeing here in the United States right now. We're going to be talking about what's going on at length. We've got a whole bunch of posts to go over. I also wanted to say thank you to Madison for making me and Real Red Pill Girlfriend these Q rocks. And on the back, well, first of all, they're painted with little custom scenes on them. And then on the back, she has a message about my channel written on it. It says Red Pill 78 on YouTube. The choice to know is yours alone. Then it shows QAnon.pub. Madison, if you are handing these out, I want to say thank you so much for helping to support the channel, getting more eyes on. I also wanted to show you this beautiful letter. First of all, she sent me a letter which has a wax seal. Look at that, like some Game of Thrones type stuff. And then here on the letter itself, you can see that there is just some insane detail. It's amazing. And Madison, I just wanted to thank you personally for doing that. I also got some really neat Anon pendants right there. Some Organite, if you guys ever heard of Organite. And they have the cool little designs on there with like metal, and then on the back it has something about our favorite Anon, and that was from Marina. And Marina, I'm not going to give away your location, but Marina, I just want you to know I'm looking into the story that you've told me here in this letter, and I will be speaking about it on the show. Also, Gaffer Anon got a hold of me, and he wants me to hold off on crap. Red Pill sitting down today. Is it that bad? Is it that bad, guys? Gafferanon wants me to hold off on the painting. His wife is going to send me another one that is custom just to me. She doesn't want, I guess, her friends and family to see this broadcast, and then it'll give her away. But I did get a painting yesterday that I know that I can share, and I am so sorry. The patriot who sent this to me, there was no letter or name in the package, and the return address information had been ripped off. So I don't know your name. I don't know your handle. I see that you wrote something on the back, but it's like a tag, and I can never figure out what those tags say. But here, you guys, check this out, and if you're in the audience, patriot, please go ahead and say something. Let us know that it's you. I want to give you a specific shout out. If you're not here, you see this later, send me an email and let me know what to call you. Look at that.
That's so good, man. That's so good.
It's amazing. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is like 3D. I think he used some like gesso medium to bulk that up. Obviously, it's a Punisher skull inside of the 17th letter of the alphabet. And then where we go one, we go all at the bottom. Like, how cool is that? That is 100% going on the wall in the studio here. And I just want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time to do that for me. I love and appreciate when people send me handmade artistic things like that. So cool. And more importantly, also, I would be interested in letting people know how to get a hold of you so that they could maybe purchase their own custom pieces of art from our favorite Anon in the movement. So very, very cool. I Sell Cat Litter says that certainly was not me. Okay, well, it's no problem. You can send me a bag of cat litter and I'll show it off on TV. That's fine. Okay, so let's dive into these posts a little bit. Oh, we just got another one. So let's see. So I want to go back to a post from yesterday. Actually, a couple of them from yesterday. But specifically, we had post 4445. I thought that was interesting because it was not posted on the regular Q Research board. It was posted on Q Research UK. And it is a message about the D class, which we received this morning. So here it's a tweet from Christina Wong. She said, soon DNI Ratcliffe has declassified documents related to Russiagate and ordered them sent to Congress. Big release expected imminently. And then our favorite Anon says, follow the pen. Well, Methods and I were talking before the show, and I think we're pretty much in agreement that if our favorite Anon posts on a board that is not Q Research, there is a specific reason why. And since it was posted on the UK board, I mean, obviously it must tie into the UK somehow. Methods, how could it tie into the UK?
Well, yeah, no, we decided based on that it was more than likely pointing to the big crux of the D class this morning, which happens to be the Steele dossier.
Yep.
The fact that that was used, because we had a lot of different aspects happen here. Do you want me to go ahead and just tie them all together, Rip Bill?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, because we had it come up, and if you want to pull up Catherine Herod's tweet about it, she's got multiple ones, but you guys can get the gist of it. But basically what they're talking about is how the dossier was used in the intelligence community assessment that happened in December 2016. So it was already involved there, and there's a lot of discrepancies in that assessment saying the intel communities were all agreeing that was highly political, it's not corroborated, it could very well be Russian disinformation. So that's happening in 2016 at the end of the year, in between the transition from Obama to Trump as president. And then you have to also remember, then the very next month, you've got Obama meeting with everybody, discussing things, stuff going on. So they already have all these things. And then obviously they let Congress know, and everybody who's got those kind of clearances know in January that the Steele dossier wasn't that great, but they still kept going on with the FISA. Okay. But you have to remember the players that were involved in this. And you've got Clapper, who was DNI. You've got Brennan, you got Comey and McCabe. They would all kind of be involved in this situation. And what you find here is that you had Comey and McCabe, and if you want to pull up the Washington Examiner article, I'll drop it here in the chat for everybody. Comey and McCabe really wanted the Steele dossier involved in that assessment. They were pushing for it. Obviously, they were trying to use it as a vehicle to get towards Mueller, to have the investigation occur. It was agreed upon that if they didn't do the intel assessment, the community assessment, it probably would not have led to even having the Mueller investigation. Mm-hmm. So Comey and McCabe were obviously playing point on this. And now in this article, of course, you've got Brennan. He's like, I'm not too sure. I don't know if we should involve it or whatever, because he's trying to keep himself very separated from it.
Right.
But then I have and I put out a tweet earlier just to kind of remind people. I saw somebody in the chat bring it up. I'm as soon as I heard this was about the assessment, I went and hunted that clip down from 2018, because you have the first thing I did this morning, because Clapper had no problem, and you could kind of tell over the last few years he's kind of been, because he's done this more than once. Oh, we were told this. Were we just not listen to the president? He's kind of already doing that meme of we're going to throw Obama under the bus. Mm-hmm. In that clip that I put out on my Twitter, just go to @M2Madness. It's over there. You'll see him say that Obama ordered this assessment to happen, and if it wasn't for Obama, they more than likely would not have even done it. Mm-hmm. So once again, it goes back to the point man of Obama when it comes to Obamagate in general. But the fact that this information is coming out now, that even all the intel communities agreed that the Steele dossier wasn't verified. It's very highly political. And on top of that, Brennan also said on the news, which we know they have no problem lying on the news, but he said this publicly and made sure he said it, that the Steele dossier wasn't even used or a big deal at all in the community assessment that has now beginning declassified. So he is very terrified of this information being brought to light today.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a listen.
If it weren't for President Obama, we might not have done the intelligence community assessment that we did, that set off a whole sequence of events which are still unfolding today, notably Special Counsel Mueller's investigation. President Obama is responsible for that, and it was he who tasked us to do that intelligence community assessment in the first place. If it weren't for President Obama,
there we go.
We might not have...
Now, we also have this other clip from Brennan. Let's go ahead and listen to that.
When did you first learn of the so-called Steele dossier and what Christopher Steele was doing?
Well, it was not a very well-kept secret among press circles for several months before it came out. And it was in late summer of 2016 when there were some individuals from the various U.S. news outlets who asked me about my familiarity with it. And I had heard just snippets about it. I did not know what was in there. I did not see it until later in that year. I think it was in December. But I was unaware of the provenance of it as well as what was in it. And it did not play any role whatsoever in the intelligence community assessment that was done, that was presented to then President Obama and then President-elect Trump.
Gotcha. It actually did play a role. In fact, it was the whole cornerstone of everything. Absolutely fantastic that we see this stuff brought out now. Now, the next post, it is a repost of that NSA tweet from February of this year. Now, actually, there's two things I wanted to address in the chat. Somebody said, oh, Q's garbage. Remember Trust Sessions? You know what happened under Sessions? We had Huber appointed to do his investigation. We had the arrest and indictment of Jeffrey Epstein as a result of Jeff Sessions being in there. There was a lot of good things that happened with Jeff Sessions. Just because there seems to be a public feud between him and Donald Trump, it doesn't mean that Jeff Sessions wasn't there to do a job. We honestly don't know whether or not this, public feud between President Trump and Jeff Sessions is even real. It could be theater. So as far as I'm concerned, Q isn't garbage, and we were supposed to trust Sessions for a reason. And like I keep saying, there's also a reason that we were told to trust Wray. Just because it doesn't live up to the hype of what we want it to be, or they don't behave in the way that we believe they should, it doesn't mean that there isn't a specific reason behind that. There was something else, and I totally forgot what it was.
Well, just on that point, I question why people hop in chats. Obviously, we are pro our favorite or non, or at least like to follow and stick to these things. Why are you spending time in the chat saying the same thing that I see shills right on the boards every day? They'll post 50 or 60 times on one bread that's only 751 posts, and they're just saying that and talking trash the whole time. So my question would be, what's the motive of showing up here in the chat doing that? Obviously, having debate discussion is fine, but that's something that I've just seen probably 100 times a day for the last 3 weeks. So it is what it is, but we'll just move forward with it. And if things change, that's fine. Adapting and speculating, that's completely cool. But we are in. I'll go ahead and go here, Red Pill, because we talked about it before the show.
Okay.
Like, we're at that point, right? And I'm not saying we're in the end game as far as everything's going to have a nice little bow in the third act type stuff. But we are kind of in this moment that I've been noticing in this movement where it's getting kind of crazy, right? And the left is pulling out all the stops. It's gone live in the streets. They're attacking everybody in every direction. This is the election year. It's a very pivotal moment. And as much as people like myself and Red Pill, and I know 412 is not on here to speak for himself, but I'm sure he would agree. I know he's in the chat. And and all the others. Like, we're at that point to where we're going to cover the information, we're going to refer to things, we have the discussion, have the hangout time with everybody. But if there's certain points where things feel like too much for you, or it's stressful, or to me, it's really hard for me to now really decipher who's a shill, who's not, when there comes to the nothing's going to happen stuff. And if that's how you feel, that's fine. If that helps you keep yourself balanced by not having the higher expectations, more power to you, whatever works. And I'm not trying to call you a shill for it, but there is a ramping up of shillery that's happening in these moments. And all we can do is present the information, do what we know how to do best during these times, what we think is best, and we keep moving on with it. And there is a thing to where if you are uncomfortable about something, research what sessions, for example, research what happened during that time when it comes to the cleaning up of people and jobs. I mean, if you want to go to our favorite Anon's list of everybody that was fired or forced out or resigned, that all happened under his watch. The Epstein stuff happened under his watch. Like, do the research and go further instead of necessarily taking out your emotion on the internet, because we're just trying to cover stuff and, stay above water on all this stuff too. But we love you guys. That's why we really care and take these moments to say these kind of things, because we want the best for everybody, but we also want everybody to fight to stand up and research on their own. And I know I'm kind of talking in circles, but it's just something I just see a lot happening lately. And it's just hard to decipher, because we know that's a shill tactic, is to just come in and just sow division or put in doubt and fear. And to me, now, to the shills that are doing that, I have plenty of words I would love to say to you that would get this show even more in trouble than it already is. So I won't, but it's implied. I'd find a better way to live life than that. But with that said, Ripple, I'll give it back to you. I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest, because I just see a lot of it, dude.
I wanted to say thank you very much to everybody who sent me words of encouragement in my email. I wanted to check in and see how I was doing, see how Chi-Chi was doing. I really appreciate it, guys. There were so many. I've gotten a real influx of emails in the last week, so there's no way that I can respond to everybody. And I just want to say again, if I don't respond to something that you sent, it is not personal. It is quite simply just a matter of not being able to respond to everybody that I want to. But I want you guys to know that I am reading your emails, that I really appreciate everything you've said. I really appreciate it. Yes, honey, I'm not going to mute again. That was definitely on me. I got a comment in the chat the other day. Somebody said, now I remember why I quit watching Red Pill, because I didn't mute myself when I vaped. And I guess maybe I took it personally. So I will try not to do that. But also, there are a lot of eyes on this movement, many people who are watching. And if people out there don't necessarily agree with the stuff we're saying, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, that's your right, and we can talk about it. But I just be prepared for people to assume that you're a shill, because there are so many paid shills out there. Like Method said, there are people who their job is to go on the boards and just post over and over and over again that Q is a LARP and this is fake. And, it doesn't add anything. So, I mean, and to the point about Sessions, somebody said that Sessions himself didn't do anything. I disagree with that. I mean, I truly believe that as a result of Sessions being in there, many people were appointed. There was all that cleanup that took place, like Method said. And, I guess if you want to see Sessions wearing like a suit of armor and wielding Excalibur and cutting the heads off of the deep state, you're never going to see that. Okay. I know the way that government works, and I understand that, whatever it was that Jeff Sessions had to do, he had a job to do. He was put in there. He went ahead and did it. And, that's it. Some people are never going to be satisfied. Even once this is all said and done, I know some people are not going to be satisfied, but we're still saving America for all of us. So thank you very much, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. All right, so the next post here, 4446, it was a repost of that NSA tweet showing that the day after the midterm elections, they began a new process and a new program to ensure the integrity of our elections. Now, this is another big one. Many people were like, nothing's happening. There has been nothing done. They're going to steal the election in 2020. And Methods, I think we've both said it here on the show before, that we were pretty confident they were doing something like this, and that what they did was they watched the midterm elections to see what they did, because it was the first major election since President Trump came into office. They allowed whatever it was that needed to happen so that they could gather the intel, go ahead and catalog it, and then say, this is how we're going to stop it from happening again in the future. And, the Senate was the target. We got the Senate, and now, that fruit is being born today. So we're going to go ahead and continue on with that. Let me just change to a little bit slower mode, guys. I appreciate everybody's patience with us. There's a lot of stuff to keep track of up here, guys. So never shave your head. No, I never will shave my head. It was a bit of hyperbole. Trust me. I would look so weird with a shaved head, but I was considering giving myself a hard part and then just shaving all of that off right there, because it was just so much hair. Thank God I found a patriot who cuts hair in my neighborhood. So now, of course, the title or the tag on the post, what happens when Ds can no longer cheat electronically, push vote by mail? Obviously, that is what they're attempting to do. That is the major thrust right now. They want to make sure everybody can vote by mail, because then they can go ahead and cheat that way. So, but still, I would not be afraid of what happens even if they do institute vote by mail. I think that... Team YouTube has responded. We confirm the decision stands. We'd recommend reviewing the YouTube policies and also making content updates to more closely align with harmful and dangerous guidelines. Well, I have received an answer from Team YouTube. That is interesting. Okay, well, I don't know what to do, so I guess I am not getting remonetized. So, I don't know what they want. I don't know how to speak about anything, I guess, on this platform and not have it be dangerous to the establishment. So that is crazy. Okay.
Well, aren't they supposed to just reevaluate on the 4th of July? Wouldn't that...
I need to request on the 4th of July, but...
Yeah.
They're paying attention because I asked everybody to go on Twitter and ask them to reinstate it. And I'll probably be hearing from my agency after this about the fact that they have declined to reinstate my monetization. So we'll see if anything different happens. But unfortunately, I think that I'm going to continue to just plug along in the manner in which I am. So that is a bummer. Okay. So yeah, going on to the next post, it's actually it's a tweet with some music in it, and I can't play the music. I'm sorry. This is actually the video from Candace Owens. That's the next one. Welcome to the Democratic Party Con. While this video is really important and every person needs to watch and share, BLM donations go directly to a super PAC called Act Blue that has given hundreds of millions to Dems running for president. How is that legal? BLM is literally a shell company. So I'll drop that tweet in the chat. You guys can go ahead and check that out. And then I believe the next post is also along those similar lines. The next post is right here. We've got Joe Biden with 51 years in government, Chuck Schumer with 45 years in government, Nancy Pelosi with 33 years in government, Patrick Leahy with 54 years in government, Maxine Waters with 47 years in government, Dianne Feinstein with 60 years in government, and they're all blaming Donald Trump, who has spent 3 years in office for problems they haven't been able to solve in decades. And then we have a tweet status, and our favorite Anon says, woke. And it is a video from a young conservative African-American woman, and she is schooling people on what this is all about. It's about the election. Pretty cool. It was a cool thing to see. I'm definitely going to go ahead and drop that into the chat as well. How crazy, Methods, is it to think that Dianne Feinstein has spent 60 years in government and things have only gotten worse?
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you follow like the train of thought that our favorite Anon is going on here, is that without cheating, some of these people would not even be in office right now.
Yeah.
So you look at all those years that they've been in there, how many times would they have not been the nominee? Because I mean, I know that they get supported because of like, you know, they're going to pass certain things and the whole exchanging of money and back scratching stuff. I get that. But these people didn't exactly become annoying in 2016. And so we put in Trump and gave the House and the Senate to them, to the Republicans. These people have been annoying for a while. And so I'm very curious to, you know, if we could ever know, you know, we can't obviously, but I would like to know how many times did they cheat to keep that power in office? Because that would be, you know, that would be a testament to presidents all knowing about it and just the entire thing of what we would call the matrix of being lied to and saying your vote matters when they, in certain cases, it never did.
Yep, unfortunately. All right, so the next post is in direct regard to the anonymous accounts on Twitter that have been, I guess, really ramping up in recent days. They tried to make an association between the president and the deceased billionaire, Jeffrey Epstein. I might as well just say it out loud now. And it didn't quite work. But Jordan Sather on Twitter, he said he shows this account, the Your Anon Central, and they had put out a tweet that says, "Help us liberate all Q victims who have fallen for the Q Pizzagate misdirection campaign. You may know someone in your family or community." And he says, Twitter CEO follows this account, wonder why, all assets activated. And then our favorite Anon goes a little deeper on it and says, not anonymous, but Twitter, owned and operated, a creation to combat Q, aka you. Stunning revelation there. Something like 7 million followers on that account, and we're being told directly that this is actually Twitter that's running this account. There's another one as well. It just a fascinating display to imagine that that's how scared they are. They're going to create their own movement on their own platform so that they can try to drown us out. Fascinating stuff.
I mean, we all kind of picked up on that quickly because of how fast the trending of anything that account would say was taking over, and they allowed it to happen. And then obviously the leftist media was even writing articles about how the anonymous group was trolling the Q group and stuff and making a thing out of it. And so, yeah, to me, it was definitely fishy, but I'm glad that it was pointed out this way because if it's actually ran by Twitter, then, you know, that lets us know how terrified they really are of us, that they had to actually use the anonymous movement, which has been around for how long?
I mean, I guess since the Obama days, you know, but I mean, here's what everybody forgets, and I keep telling this to people if they email me about it. Anonymous was infiltrated and taken over by the FBI during the Obama years. Okay, so even if this was anybody affiliated with the official anonymous group, I mean, it's essentially being run by the deep state. Okay, it makes a lot more sense to me that they've handed it off directly to Twitter and that you've got them running this op against us. And then in the next post, it says, do Anons understand what is about to be unleashed? And then we have that other Democrat, welcome to the D Party Con, and that is a meme video showing, what's his name? What is this guy's name? Al Sharpton, Reverend Al Sharpton, getting onto his private jet. And it's from Bobby Axelrod. It says, hypocrisy, folks. Now, this has copywritten music in it. It's from his TikTok, it looks like. Let me just play it, but without the music. And here he is getting onto his private jet. The Reverend Al Sharpton, he's sure come a long way. And look at the detail in that suit. He sure is a sharp dresser, isn't he?
Right. He's gotten so skinny, though. I mean,
Oh, he must have had a gastric bypass or something.
right. Get that man a sandwich.
Yeah. Okay, here we go, guys. Gonna go. Somebody says, don't brush over 4450. I'm not gonna brush over any of the posts. Do Anons understand what is about to be unleashed? I mean, Methods, do you have any specific thoughts on what this could be? Because, I mean, personally, I just believe that, holy hell is about to be rained down on the other side, and we kind of pick up with that in today's posts.
Well, I mean, think about my first thought was when we read this last night was having to do with the D-class stuff that we're getting this morning. Because if you put it in context, like what we're talking about, they are just dismantling the entire narrative around that time during the transition from Obama to Trump and even before that. So I would think that kind of unleashing would be involved in it. The news today with Lindsey Graham, when we all knew that they would party line vote that stuff. We haven't gotten to that yet. I think our favorite Anon brings that up later. But the fact that the subpoena power is in his hands, they're going to do that. And we're going to get to cover these public things and watch these people squirm and watch them lie. And it's going to help write the correct history of what they've been lying about. And then also tomorrow we get the opening statements or the arguments or whatever for the Flynn case. That's all happening live. But as far as understand what is about to be unleashed, to me, hints at what all that stuff I just named is hinting towards.
Right.
And I mean, do you listen to Barr this week, right? I mean, he was making sure he was like, hey, I'm not writing off anything. I just can't talk about it. Future people, they are being looked at. Some are household names. And we all know that there's no way they can come back and be like, oh, it was all good. We just wasted even more of Americans' money. There's obviously things coming with that. And I think that our favorite Anon here is pointing about how, and I don't want to just be cheesy and say biblical, but how big this really is. And we aren't exactly sure. And I think that's what he was trying to, she, whatever was pointing towards.
Somebody just says my new look is creepy. You must have missed the show where I said I accidentally trimmed it too low with the wrong guard. It's growing back. It's just going to take a couple of days for it to happen. So everybody can, sit back, relax, and just know that my full beard will be back before long. It just takes time. Now, again, the reason I didn't highlight the meaning of what's about to be unleashed too heavily is because I think that it really starts to come out today in today's post. Now, we already went over the Catherine Herridge tweet, but then you've got the post from John Solomon next, where he says U.S. Intel viewed Steele dossier as highly politically sensitive and mostly uncorroborated. So just confirming the findings and showing the fact that they knew that it was junk from the very beginning, yet they perpetrated this investigation upon not only President Trump but the American public. They used how many millions of taxpayer dollars? 35 million or whatever from just the Mueller investigation. Think about the time, money, manpower, the resources that went into it just up until the Mueller report. We've never gotten a full accounting of that. Okay, this has been a tremendous waste of time and a waste of resources that the American public has had to foot the bill for. Okay, now moving on to the next part, we have an article from Fox News, and it's in regards to Tucker Carlson, and he says, we were all played. Corrupt politicians scared us into giving up control over the most basic questions in our lives. At the same time, they gave more power to their obedient followers, like the guys in the black at the rallies, or riots, pardon me, while keeping the rest of us trapped at home and censored online. Virus or election? Virus or excuse to push vote by mail? Now, here is the Tucker Carlson article. That's the headline. We were lied about CV-19 and the mass lockdowns. Here's proof. It's a 10-minute segment, so I'm not going to go ahead and play it, but I am going to drop the link to the article into the chat, and you guys can go ahead and watch that after the show.
Yeah, I watched it this morning because I didn't catch it last night, and it is a very, very good 10 minutes. So I highly suggest everybody after the show watch it in between this show and then obviously 412's show that happens an hour after this one. Watch it during that time if you guys are looking for stuff to do, because that he breaks it down. He says what all of us have been saying, but you know how Tucker can only do what Tucker does. He says it his way, and it definitely breaks it down, and it's what you can send to people that are arguing with you that we need to stay shut down. Let Tucker explain it.
Yeah. I also forgot to do another prayer request at the beginning. A wonderful friend of the channel, somebody who, I don't know if you're in the chat right now, I haven't seen your name yet, but cue the music. He is in a group home situation. He's a quadriplegic, and he's just gotten word that there are 4 cases of CV-19 at his group home. This is the kind of place where they were pushing these people, probably because they knew that with the most health vulnerable portions of the population would be in these homes, these nursing homes. So far, he has tested negative. He said he's keeping to himself, but it's not just residents, it's staff as well. So please keep Cue the Music in your thoughts and prayers. Now, I also want to say many people sent me this new video of a woman who was a nurse in New York. She went and worked at Elmhurst Hospital, the epicenter of everything happening in New York. And she wore a hidden camera. She took audio, and the things she found were just absolutely stunning. I could not believe what I was hearing. I mean, I guess, maybe I could believe, but hearing it, just the way that they did things, the way that they basically allowed people to die. They basically killed people who came in without COVID-19. Just a terrible, terrible situation. I am working my darndest to try to get her on the show. Her name, I can't remember her name. Hold on. Let me actually tell you guys what her name is. It is Erin something or other. Here we go. Erin Marie Olszewski, okay? People who are friends with her on Twitter, on Facebook, have messaged me. I don't have a Facebook, guys, so if anybody can help me get in contact with her, I think that it's very important that I get her on the show. Need to get her on the show. So anybody who can help, thank you very much. I appreciate your help. Now, moving on to the next post, we have... that's the Tucker Carlson. Then we've got, again, a repost of that NSA tweet, along with President Trump's perfect congressional endorsement record, 73-0. It makes me think that he gave Mitt Romney an endorsement just so that he could say that, he has a perfect record. That's right. The only reason, Mitt Romney's useless. He says, what happens when D's can no longer cheat electronically? Push vote by mail. What event was necessary to provide cover for push? I think that is self-explanatory, very obvious. Now we have the the post about the Judiciary Committee and the subpoenas. Committee approval 10 to 12 today. We have the actual press release from judiciary.senate.gov, and it's taking a minute to pull up. But this is very important because all of these people who were involved in this scam, now they're going to come in and testify after everything's been declassed. Okay? They're not going to be able to lie anymore. They're not going to be able to say, that's classified, or I can't speak about it here in this setting because it will have already been classified.
Teflon Don. Yeah, Teflon Don 45 in the chat said this a little bit earlier. Senate subpoenas are a giant perjury trap. Yep. I agree. That definitely is, but it's also, an opportunity to refresh the memories of what's happened because of so much has been going on and they want us distracted. I believe that we need to have these, on the main stage, have them having, like, going back and reminding people, because even listening to the Rosenstein's hearing, I was like, oh yeah, that happened or this happened. So it does, but I do agree it is a way to catch them in the act because, and also to pen their statements against each other. To get to the truth and do it publicly. You must show them, as our favorite Anon says.
Okay. I am trying to find the email so that I can send it to you guys here in the chat. The spelling of her name. Here we go.
While you're doing that, we've got over 5,300 people hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. I see 2.2 thousand likes so far on my side. If you guys don't mind turning that thumb blue if you haven't already. We also thank you for hitting us up on PayPal and supporting Red Pill in any other way that he's doing stuff. We really do appreciate it. Shout out to the mods. Thank you guys so much for being dedicated and helping us do this stuff.
Yeah, you guys are really the best. Oh, my buddy, son of a green card, sent something over on Cash App, you guys. Thank you very much. And I also do just want to say, if you guys don't have Cash App yet, like, that is honestly like my preferred means of donation. If it's outside of memberships on Patreon and Subscribestar, because Cash App is literally just transfer of funds from person to person. There is no middleman to take a cut from anybody. So if you sign up for Cash App, the link is right there. Jojo just put it in. If you sign up for Cash App, you get $5 for free for signing up, and I get $5 for referring you. So please, you can double your donation that way. It's very, very cool. And if you have the Cash App, then they will send you like a debit card, and you can use the money that's in there anywhere you go. You don't have to jump through all the hoops like you do at PayPal. You're going to sign up with your personal information, but I can guarantee you that you would have to do that with any service that you might sign up for to donate to anybody. So you guys, thank you so much once again. And hang on, I just wanted to see if there was anybody new on PayPal so I could give them a shout out. We have, okay, so Margaret, she says, okay, I already said your first name, so I'm not going to say your handle, but she said, thank you for all you do, and sorry that you lost your memberships. Pray a reckoning for YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. NC11 says, now that you've been demonetized by the goons at YouTube, you can speak freely. You're doing great work, kid. Thank you very much. Constance, thank you for that. Also, Dennis, thank you for that. Catherine, thank you for that. Carol says, thank you for your informative broadcasts and podcasts and comfy chats. Thank you very much for that, Carol. Stephen, thank you for that. Sharon says, amazing work. Greatly appreciated. God bless. Thank you. And then there was another Stephen, and then an Ann as well. Margaret also said, hi, RP78. I was so sad that YouTube cut you off. It's unfair. They won't bring us down. We're all in this together. I loved your story about the message from God. Your faith is inspiring. Thank you for sharing. I look forward to your website and watching your outreach expand. I support your efforts. I'm here with you. Where we go one, we go all. I'm grateful. Thank you so much, Margaret. I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Even if you're not supporting the show financially, guys, just the fact that you're here, the fact that you're engaging with us, you're hanging out in the chat, and that you're helping to spread the message. You can share this post, this broadcast on your favorite social media platform. Help me get in front of new eyes, and I truly do believe that God is going to bless me, beyond my wildest dreams. He already has. The fact that I have you guys here in my life to share this information with is a greater blessing than anything I could possibly imagine. And I'll be really honest, I am only on YouTube because of Real Red Pill Girlfriend. She's the one who pushed me to go ahead and start doing this back when I did. She gave me the confidence that I needed to do this. And I owe everything here to her as much as I owe it to anyone else. And I love her so much, you guys. And for those of you who think that I say it too much, I think that you're, it's a sad thing if you don't feel comfortable putting that information out there. I feel like your partner should be your best friend, and she truly is my best friend, and I'm so blessed, and I thank God every day that she was sent to me. So let's see. Ken, don't worry, buddy. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they need to donate financially. Like I said, if you're here watching the show, if you're chatting, if you're sharing, if you are liking the show, all of that is an incredible means of support as well. So thank you very much, you guys. I do appreciate it. So here we go. We have the press release from the Judiciary Committee. Chairman Graham announces committee to consider subpoena authorizations related to oversight of the FISA process and the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. Obviously, we had that go through today. We have a story from Axios, and it shows that Senate Judiciary gives Graham sweeping subpoena powers in the review of the Russia probe. Now, the little important part here, why it matters, Graham now has sweeping authority to subpoena documents and more than 50 individuals related to the Russia investigation, including former FBI Director James Comey, former Clowns in America Director John Brennan, and former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper. All of these people, major linchpins in this scandal and in this investigation that was a complete and utter waste of time.
Yeah, we're getting over 50 being subpoenaed. I mean, we're going to get a lot of, and I had some people say to me, wow, that's going to take forever. They're just going to drag this out through the election. That's not to say they can't put people side by side. They'll also do multiple ones in a day, a before lunch and after lunch type scenario, just depending on what their positions were and how they can connect. But that's a lot. And we need that happening. We've been begging for this for how long? We thought we were getting this back before they did all the impeachment nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see what they do in us, because I mean, as quickly as they try to make a statement and die on a certain mountain about something, the internet, this movement, people in this chat, they take it apart very quickly, and they can't even get out of the room fast enough before it's already debunked publicly. So it's our time to shine during a lot of this, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, love Graham, hate Graham, whatever. I wouldn't break bread with him, but he is who's in that position now, and he's handing it over to Grassley in January. It's giving it back over to him, and that Grassley is a G. I love him to death.
Yeah.
So it's temporary. Graham's going to go back to being a plant in the corner, and it'll be fun.
All right. So I'm going to put my Cash App link in the chat box again, because I saw someone ask. That's what you click if you don't have the Cash App yet. If you already have the Cash App, then it is $redpill78. $redpill78, and that is how you donate to me if you already have Cash App. If you don't have the Cash App, you go to that other link that I shared. So now moving on to the next post, we have a message from an Anon. He says, finally, now we can have real hearings instead of the sham scam hearings in the decontrolled House. And our favorite Anon says, logical thinking. Do you hold hearings before or after select items declass? How do you exert maximum pressure publicly? Senate was the target. Why? Because they control these committees. They now have the subpoena power. And the reason you wait until after the information is declassed is because then it's incontrovertible. It is in the public eye. The people can no longer lie about either what happened or what their role was. And now they've already testified once. Now that it's been declassed, they're going to get called back in. They're going to go ahead and have to answer questions, and I guarantee you their testimony is going to be in direct conflict with the testimony they gave previously. So, they're not going to be able to lie. They can't lie because the information's been declassed. They are going to get caught up on perjury. I guarantee it. Things are going to happen to these guys, and I believe it's just the beginning. It's a snowball effect.
And we're going to be having, like I said, these 50-plus hearing, subpoena possibilities. We're also going to be getting declassified information just sprinkled throughout the entire situation. So it's relevant. And if you could tell that it happens at the right time. They release things. You can obviously see there's a plan to it, not to overuse that word, but now you've had the dossier stuff come out, and then Graham calls out Comey and McCabe. Mm-hmm. Because the dossier was used in the FBI investigations thoroughly. They were the ones that were supposed to be vetting it, and they were using, all the FISA stuff. So you'll see these things be relevant as they go on, I imagine, and we're going to just be the ones to have to take it apart and put them side by side.
Now, also, I forgot to say this, but Gene in the chat said that tonight Aaron Olszewski is going to be on Tucker Carlson. So, check out that link that I sent into the chat so you can watch her video and then watch her tonight on Tucker Carlson. And then definitely anybody who has a connection to her on Facebook, see if you can help me get an interview. David, he says, from tree climbing, keep on up. Keep on keeping up. Thank you very much, David. And also Constance, there we go. Got everybody.
Also tonight, doesn't mean to cut you off, at 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe Trump will be interviewed on Fox News.
Very cool.
Everybody make sure you're checking that out. Tonight I'll be watching it for sure.
All right. And then also thank you to Jeffrey. Appreciate that, Jeffrey. And he says, thanks for all of the hard work you put in for the cause. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, buddy. And then also to Daryl. Thank you very much, Daryl. He says, for thanks. Jose, thank you, Jose. Thank you to Carmen, and then Tina and Judith as well. Thank you, all of you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Oh, God, I saw somebody say audio. They must be watching the beginning of the show. All right. So moving on to the next post, I believe this is the last post so far, post 4458. We have a tweet status from Speaker Pelosi. I haven't even seen this yet, so let's go ahead and take a look. It's in regard to the statues, okay? Those who do not understand history are doomed to repeat it, and what is highly ironic is that what these leftists are doing is very akin to what the Confederates did. They tore down monuments, they tried to take over their areas, and they wanted to kick the federal government out. The statues which fill the halls of Congress should reflect our highest ideals as Americans. Today, I am once again calling for the removal from the U.S. Capitol of the 11 statues representing Confederate soldiers and officials. These statues pay homage to hate, not heritage. And then our favorite Anon says, why are D's attempting to remove their past as Confederates? Knowing the past helps to understand the present. And then we have some history here on Confederate General becomes Secretary of the Senate. This is something a lot of people don't necessarily consider, is that after the Civil War ended, we had to integrate the leaders of the South into the existing federal government of the United States of America. So there were people who were acting as Confederates during the war, and then they came on to be powerful people in the administration. Now, I don't think necessarily that each and every one of those people was, the worst people in the world. They're not that necessarily horrible. Hopefully, they learned something when our country was torn apart, but I do think it's very possible that many of those people informed the opinions of people like Speaker Pelosi today. Certainly people like Robert Byrd, one of the mentors of Hillary Clinton, definitely influenced him. But by tearing these statues down, by pretending that their background, that their history is not in the Confederates, they are essentially lying to people. I saw, Methods, did you see that... there was a pamphlet going around saying that the Republicans were the ones who started the Civil War and the Republicans were the Confederates.
I don't know if I've seen what you're talking about, but I have seen that narrative being pushed around.
And the reason that it's able to be pushed around is because these people don't know their history. Okay, they are being lied to by their leaders, and once they remove all vestige of the Confederates, then there's going to be nothing left to show the origins of the Democratic Party. Now, we also have a tweet from Sixth Seal News, and it says, "Welcome to the D Party Con." The post. Oh, it's that gentleman again talking about why he honors the flag. Now, this one is important. It's only 40 seconds. I'm going to play it.
Why fly the American flag? During the Civil War, there was two types of flags that was flying. You had the American flag that represented the Northern Republican Party. You had the Southern flag, which was a Confederate flag that represented the Democratic Party. What's the difference between both? One for freedom and one not to stop slavery. Black Americans, I want you to educate yourself. The American flag is our symbol of freedom. Without that flag, we would have lost the war. The Democrats want you to hate something that gave you freedom. Don't fall for it. Thank you. I'm going to tell you why I fly the American flag.
How did that happen?
God, dude.
It's funny that the leaders on the left are trying to create this hatred for the American flag, this hatred for the institution, the symbol of what gave these people their life, liberty, and the right to pursue happiness. What is going to be put in place once they destroy this republic, once they destroy the United States of America? What are they going to institute? It is not going to be anything good. All right. And something tells me it will be very similar to what the Confederate States of America were attempting to institute back during the Civil War.
Well, I mean, they are, destroying the history and just ruining all this progress that America has been making. It also is the long game. There is this arrogance about them, about how they can get their controls back. And what better way than going ahead and setting back the public, because it's not just about Trump, it's about all of us. It's about patriotism. It's about the Christians out there, the people with morals, and building a society to where we help each other and care, not being divided. So having everybody's worlds turned upside down, and them being the only ones with the solutions and answers in the future, to them would give them that control back. And that's where the issues really do lie with it. Now, I do know this, Red Pill, we've only got, 30 minutes left, and there's a few different things that we need to get to.
Yeah.
One of which is the title of the show. I want to make sure we do that. But let's just go ahead and touch these other two ones real quickly. Trump imposed sanctions on the International Criminal Court. Do you have that tweet from Chanel pulled up?
Yes. Getting that pulled up here right now.
Right. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, J.R. Bob Dobbs, I mean, it's just Bob, but I know who J.R. Bob Dobbs is. Church of the Subgenius, he said that the Civil War was about more than just slavery. Yeah, it definitely was, but we're simplifying it now for the argument that's going on here in the United States. So don't worry about that. We definitely are well aware of that. Here is the tweet from Chanel Rion.
Right, and she says, Justin, President Trump imposing sanctions on International Criminal Court authorities who investigate or persecute, which is a key word there, U.S. personnel without U.S. consent. And there's the statement there. I'll drop the tweet in the chat. But basically, this is they were trying to look past what we have as a sovereign nation and police us. And they keep trying to do it. They're going after our military. They're just doing investigations, basically like what they were doing to Trump's presidency as far as harassment through investigations. They're doing this on an international scale. So Trump is like, fine, I'm going to sanction the people doing this stuff. And I'm also going to restrict their travel. I think that's in that list as well, even their family members. So there's something to this more than what we just see on face value. There's obviously been intentions of them using this to their advantage, because that's international tribunal. That's that kind of world. And so I'm very glad that Trump did. I think that's war posturing, because we haven't heard anything specifically about that going on right now, right?
No. Yeah, this was a shock to me, but I mean, I think it's a good move on our behalf. I mean, they were trying to override our sovereignty. I mean, there have been Americans, I believe, that have fallen victim to this International Criminal Court, and I mean, this could have been used. If we were to allow ourselves to be subjugated to this international court, then it could definitely be used to try to go after President Trump or other people in his administration, or to go after American troops, which are stationed all throughout the globe. So yeah, very, very good. I love that he says the United States is not a state party to the Rome Statute and has repeatedly rejected the International Criminal Court's assertion of jurisdictions over United States personnel. The International Criminal Court's actions are an attack on the rights of the American people and threaten to infringe upon our national sovereignty. The ICC was established to provide accountability for war crimes, but in practice it has been an unaccountable and ineffective international bureaucracy that targets and threatens United States personnel as well as personnel of our allies and partners. So very, very powerful move here on behalf of President Trump.
Yeah, I totally agree. It needed to happen, and I'm sure it was going to be abused in one way or another, because when we get into these things of Five Eyes and the spying and working this, it makes it more than about America, and that's when these people can try to become a wedge or in that justice wheel and make it about them having control. It's a lot bigger than just what we have here in our justice system. And then the other, do you have something else to read real quick? Because I know I was going to move on to the next topic.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I'm good.
The next topic, just because I saw it a lot in the chat, we didn't discuss it beforehand, I don't have anything pulled up, was what General Milley did.
Yes.
Yeah, he apparently was doing some kind. I didn't look much into it. I didn't watch the video. Something about at a commencement speech, he said he shouldn't have been there for the quote unquote photo op and walking with the president and all that. And that bothered a lot of people. And I can agree that is, you need to stand firm with the president. And I'm not making excuses for the guy, but I'm also not going to run to the extreme and change his hat to black. Or somebody got to him. It's his personal opinion, and he's also giving a commencement speech. So as in new people getting into positions in the military, maybe it was something that he didn't want them to start politicizing, so he just made this statement. I don't know, but I'm not going to full-blown just say that he's a bad guy turning, because we have other people doing the same thing.
Muffin's here, but she's too lazy to jump up. Okay. Joker just said that Clapper just threw a bomb under the bus. Did something happen that we don't know about yet? I don't know. But so two things here that I want to make sure that we get. It's the title of the show. I'm going to be talking about this at length with Bob Kudla tonight on the 6 p.m. show. But the takeover of America has begun in earnest in Seattle, Washington. There is a 6 square block area that has been taken over by protesters and members of the far left group that we've talked about on the program before. They have created what they call the Seattle Autonomous Zone, or the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. They have cordoned it off. They've essentially taken it over. They have instituted themselves as peacekeeping forces, as the police of the area. They're even going around and demanding protection money from local businesses. It's only $500, cash or Bitcoin. They'll take either one. And I thought that it was very interesting to coincide with Project Veritas's new expose about the funding for that ultra-left-wing radical organization. In their expose, they tie it directly to Soros, and not only him, but Tom Steyer. I loved that right there.
Oh, yeah. And it's to me, it's like, okay, how long is that really going to last out there? How are they going to be able to get away with it? Apparently, they were projecting on a screen in the middle of the street for people to watch, and it was apparently propaganda videos that they had planned. But yeah, if they homeless people are stealing their food, then it's not going to get that far. To me, it's like, it just reminds me, what was that movie we grew up watching, Camp Nowhere? They took over. They took over, and they try to run things, their way.
Yes,
It's not gonna last long.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a modern-day Lord of the Flies type situation. I mean, like Method said, they invited homeless people in, they stole all their food, and so now they've been begging for vegan meat and soy products. That's not a joke. That actually happened. But the place that I was showing right there, this is the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone right here. Now, I believe this is the 3rd precinct in Seattle. The police were actually forced out of that precinct. I think that City Hall might actually be in this area right here. So the local government has been shoved out as well. Now, what's fascinating is that President Trump has made a direct statement about this. He's told the people of Seattle and Washington that they need to get their house in order. Otherwise, he is going to send people in there to go ahead and do it. The mayor and the governor have basically told President Trump to BTFO. They don't want any help. They certainly don't want to have any wins for President Trump, saying that, he was able to come in and establish law and order. Oh, Logan's Run. That's another great movie. My Jewel. If you guys ever seen that movie, that was crazy. Yes, Idiocracy. That's one of my favorite movies. Absolutely love it. Brawndo. It's got what plants crave. Electrolytes. So I don't think that anything is going to be done, to be quite honest. I think that these people are going to continue to rule over this area of the city, and more than likely, the Dems are going to get themselves pushed out of office, because all of these business owners and the people who live in this area, I don't think that people are going to be willing to pay protection money for very long. And let's be honest, what citizens of the city of Seattle, which is already a big black hole, if you ask me, you walk around, there's there's drugs, drug paraphernalia laying around. Be careful, don't wear sandals, you might get stuck by a needle. But nobody is going to come into this business district and support any of the businesses, because the people that are cordoning it off, they're apparently walking around with weapons. It's an open carry state, so more power to them, but they're using those weapons to to intimidate people that are coming in. They're checking IDs. It's absolutely just insane. This has grown to proportions that I never possibly could have anticipated. So yeah, Portland, Oregon also now has an autonomous zone. Bad news, guys. They're going to do this in every single city where they've already, had these riots and stuff. This is going to get worse, and I think that President Trump is going to allow it to continue on so that he can prove his point.
I totally agree. Yeah, we got a new queue. If you want to pull that up, it's pretty straightforward. But to them that are hungry and demanding food, like I wish like I lived out there. Because like the best, like peacefully, like armed for protection, but peaceful grill out right outside that wall, to where they just have to smell the food while everybody's partying, and all that stuff. To me, would be hilarious. But it's not going to last long. Of course, they're going to pop up in places like Portland, but it's not. They're not going to be able to pull that. They can't pull that off in my state. I'll tell you that now.
Hey, listen, Floyd in the chat, he says, do I need him to scout? Yes. If you can go get footage, if you can get pictures, if you can get video, yes, heck yeah, man, please, go scout. I know you can handle yourself, so I'm not worried about telling you to watch your back, but thank you very much. Get whatever you can, and then let us know, and we'll play it here on the channel. I have a video I was going to play too. Hog, one of the mods, my friend, he sent over something really cool. I'll show you guys in a second. We're going to take a look at this post, though, first. It's a tweet from Jason Buttrill. When you click to donate to Black Lives Matter, it takes you to Act Blue. If donated money goes unclaimed, Act Blue disperses the money however they want. These are the top expenditures so far in 2020. Number 1, $186 million to Bernie 2020. Number 2, $119 million to Biden for president. Number 3, $93 million to Elizabeth Warren, Presidential Exploratory Committee. Number 4, $78 million to Pete for America. Number 5, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Then Amy for America. Then Friends of Andrew Yang. Then Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee. Then Democratic National Committee. And finally, Amy McGrath for Senate. This is where your money goes. Black Lives Matter is simply a money laundering operation. These people are not getting the benefit of these, woke leftists who think that they are supporting a good cause. All they're doing is giving money to the campaigns for the Democratic challengers for the presidential election here in 2020. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, how else? We know that the DNC was going broke.
Yep.
We know that a lot of these people aren't really being supported, but what better way than having something tragically happen and then have the campaigns for financing, because it also allows them to shift money around that otherwise would be questionable. And obviously this is questionable, but like foreign financing and stuff like that coming through, because Black Lives Matter is not just here in America. They have them all over. So this is a big money washing, laundering operation. And before you move on, Red Pill, we've got over 6,100 people here hanging out. That's awesome. 3.3 thousand likes, guys. Please turn it blue if you haven't. And thank you guys for hanging out with us. This has been fun.
Yeah, Jojo, love you. Thanks for hanging out today. I'm glad you were able to stay as long as you could. I want to continue this thread a little bit here, because Jason continues, kind of puts this article from Politico in perspective. What kind of deal was struck at this secret meeting? Major donors considering funding BLM. Activists for the protest movement are meeting in secret with Liberal Funder Club. And then Act Blue says contributions to social welfare organizations are similarly not cashed or are affirmatively refused will be kept by Act Blue and used generally to support its social welfare activities. Also of note, no one at BLM has or will disclose where their money is going. Why not? Is it because the vast majority is going unclaimed for Act Blue to then funnel to the DNC? The FEC needs to look into this immediately. I'm going to go ahead and drop this thread along with this article, guys, so you can check this out. If I were you, I would definitely, maybe tweet at the FEC and see if we can't have this tomfoolery looked into. There we go. All right, and Muffin needs to go outside. Methods, can you take over for a second?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
But yeah, everybody in the chat, imagine if this is already being watched.
Come on, guys.
And obviously, they can go back through records, the FEC stuff, and all that. But imagine this being fully investigated and how much exposing could occur. Because for example, I caught the Glenn Beck special last night. I don't have the link handy, but if you go to Blaze TV on YouTube, he talked about these things that we're talking about now, about Black Lives Matters and what they are technically using their platform for when it comes to the money and stuff. And he, put out the point, and I'll agree with it, that imagine who is afraid that Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all this stuff, who's connected to them really? Who in positions of power are terrified that, labeling them as a terrorist organization or domestic terror, whatever you want to call it. If those kind of things come out and it's that fresh, when we have this thing with George Floyd and then the protests and the riots, and if it does come out that this was all orchestrated from beginning to end, which a lot of us can agree on, if that were to come forward and be shown to the public in that way, with exposing Soros, the international ties, you have actual justice happen in handcuffs. And I know I'm basically giving Hope Prawn right now talking about it, but just imagine how that kind of exposure could wake the public up. Because I see a lot of people talk about how can we wake up the public? It's too far gone. I see some of those things said before, but if that kind of exposure were to occur, you would imagine that it would be, it would wake people up on a massive scale. And we also will believe that, God will definitely, work on people's hearts that are hardened and clear people's minds and stuff. And that's why we pray for everybody in this situation for sure. But yeah, I definitely think that some of this stuff has to give. I know it gets stressful when we don't exactly get to have the stuff that we know to be true or we assume to be true or our favorite or non-connects. We don't see it happen publicly, and that's where a lot of faith gets lost, or at least gets people struggle with. But imagine that kind of exposure occurring at least at one of these major situations, and how it would not only reinvigorate the movement and give the energy. The people that have dropped it would definitely come back, but imagine that kind of awakening occurring and then giving enough justification publicly to go even further into these people's histories and what they've been doing. Because it's not just about what they've been doing since Trump got in. It's been for decades in the making. That's why they're called the old guard for a reason. We have a lot of these things needing to be exposed, and they will go back in those directions, but we are going to need accountability. And I do really hope these kind of situations now are going to be used as the tipping point for that.
Yeah, I tend to think so. Sorry, guys. I thought I was muted and I was eating a beef jerky stick. I'm on this keto diet.
The dog needs to go out, air quotes.
Well, I gave her a treat. I let her out, and then I got one for myself as well. Oh, so this is something else I needed to show you guys. I am now a member of the official Popeye fan club. I'm sure you've all seen my anchor tattoo. So I grew up watching Popeye. Still love spinach. Absolutely, it's pretty awesome. Turns out that the people who run the Popeye fan club are fans of the show. So hi guys, I'm not going to say your name on the air because I don't want to dox you, but I also got a copy of the official Popeye fan club magazine. It's got articles in it. Look at that. They use that cool extreme font right there. I'm a big fan of fonts like that from the 80s. I got my membership card as well as I got my membership certificate, and best thing is they are fans of our POTUS. So they sent me a whole bunch of bumper stickers, a whole bunch of different things to do. The Popeye fan club is based in Chester, Illinois, which is the home of the man who, he's no longer alive, but the guy who invented Popeye, created Popeye all these years ago. Man, there's even a museum there. I'm going to go there some of these days. And I'm going to take some footage and we'll get a video there. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. I'm excited about that. So we've got 12 minutes left, guys. 12 minutes left. Wimpy was a sanitized alcoholic. Oh, man. Yes, I am a bit of a nerd, bit of a pop culture nerd. You know, I can't lie about it. You know, I mean, I have to be honest. Let me see. There was some other messages I got here on Twitter. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody that wanted me to say something.
Well, while you're doing that real quick, I just went to go grab 412's live stream link.
Yeah.
Because I always got to support. It's the next one coming on after us that I know of.
Yep.
And I hope it's true. And so 412, don't get mad at me if things change. But apparently he's going to have both Dilly and Quite Frankly on the show today. So
again?
Yeah, I know that they had to cancel or some show like that recently.
Oh.
So he actually thanked us for not promoting the show that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to drop that link in the chat for all you guys. Like I said, it starts an hour after the show ends. Make sure you go over there, check it out. Of course, say that RP and M3 sent you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll definitely be tuning in. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, I don't have anything else in particular that we were supposed to be talking about. Methods, you want to talk about your new system?
Well, yeah, actually, I was able to get the new computer that I had been discussing, and people obviously from the chat and everybody helped me reach that goal to get the computer that I needed. I'm not going to nerd out because I'm not really a computer. I know as much about computers as Red Pill knows about sports, just to be completely honest with everybody. But I did get what was recommended for me to have. They actually had sent one in shipping a week or so ago, and if people remember, I went really quiet over a weekend about 2 weeks ago because it showed up and it didn't work, and I was very frustrated and all that stuff. But I got a hold of the manufacturer. They built me a brand new one, and it works great. I'm on it now. I'm very excited. I'm still learning what I want to do with my own channel and things in the future that are going to happen with to speak in third person with methods. But yeah, I'm excited about it. And once again, thank you to everybody who did donate. You definitely got me there as far as being able to buy what I need. Because I asked Red Pill, I was like, all right, what kind of specs do I need to be able to live stream? And he told me, and I looked at what I had, and it was half the quality of being able to do it. So once again, thank you guys for helping me be able to reach this moment. And like I said, give me some time. There's some things I want to learn how to do and do it correctly and smoothly. As far as like live stuff that I'm going to be doing in the future, it's going to be, as of now, it's more likely going to be like this format here with Red Pill.
Mm-hmm.
Very chill, very casual. I probably won't even do the monetizing route on it. I want to be able to speak entirely freely. I respect Red Pill's platform. I'll play by the rules of how he wants things to go on his channel, but I'm going to be a little bit more, even more free with how I talk on my own. If they just take me down, I'll just go over to D Live or something. I don't care. I just want to do stuff and have fun. But yeah, I'm excited about it. And again, thanks everybody for helping out.
I see everybody in the chat saying that I was going to play a video. I have to admit, it already escaped me. I don't remember what I was going to play.
Was it the hog video?
Oh, yes. Let me get it pulled up. Okay, that's great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Okay, where is it? Shoot. Hold on just a sec. I'm going to have to pull up my text messages. Okay, so yeah, this is from Hog. Yes, he says you gotta play the queue. Okay, thanks, buddy. All right. Well, you know what? Here's one that I wanted to share. This is not the first one, but take a look. Obviously, there are patriots still left in our country. Very cool. All right, let me get the next one pulled up. And shoot, where did it go? I saved it the other day, and I can't find where I saved it to. Oh God, somehow I went back to the beginning of May. All right, hold on. Where is it? There's some good memes you sent me, dude. Oh, I'm not gonna show them on the air though. Okay, okay, I'm there. Let me make it big. Okay, check this out. Look at that. So he took a riding lawnmower and he cut a queue into the field right there. I've also got footage from an airplane going overhead too, or maybe it was a drone. But I thought that was super cool right there. Super cool stuff. Okay, here is the image from the airplane. Look at that. So if you were an airplane going over, then that's what you would see, is this 17th letter of the alphabet in the midst of that field. How cool would that be?
It's definitely awesome.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I'm dropping the link again for 412 show in the chat with Dilly and Frank. It'll start an hour from now. So everybody asking for it, there you go. Now, since this is Thursday, why don't we go over what we are going to be doing this weekend?
Okay, first of all, on Friday, Miriam Hanane is going to be returning. She was that naturopath that was pretty interesting. She has that documentary about bees that we talked about the first time she was here. Then we talked about health stuff the next time. The FDA has been going after her to try to destroy her business because she is not a proponent of modern medicine. So she's going to be back on the show tomorrow night. Praying Medic is going to be here on Saturday. We're going to be talking about his book and among other things. So definitely be here for Praying Medic as well. And then on Sunday, what do we got going on?
We're going to have our buddy Scott from Woke Societies. He's an up-and-coming channel. I say that. He's getting pretty close, if not already broken 40,000 subscribers over on his channel. It's Woke Societies. It's got a green, neon green logo. You can't miss it. But he's going to hang out with us for the full 2 hours, and we're going to chat just like we were doing today, cover any topics that happen, each by the hour, something pops up. But we're going to get to know Scott a little bit, let everybody know in the chat who Scott is. And, we like to take those moments and highlight other channels and stuff that are either up and coming or anything like that. Is he in the chat? Yeah. Almost 50,000.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you, man. Don't forget about us when you get famous.
That's right. You guys can go straight to his account right there from the chat. Make sure you give him a follow if you haven't already. I just need to say thank you to Maureen. Thank you to Allison. Thank you to Christopher. Thank you to Jacob, Jeffrey, and Daryl. Thank you all very much. And several people joining the Cash App for the very first time, so an extra $5 for each of those people. Appreciate you guys. Very cool.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of fun over the weekend. A lot of good shows that we're going to be doing. Linda Graham is asking for my PayPal in the chat. If Wheezy Girl, if you can tag her and give her that'd be great. And I appreciate you even asking about it. But yeah, no, it's exciting to be able to do shows. I mean, I know that we like to bring on guests and stuff that, they like a Deanna that we had on this past week and stuff, or even Roseanne, which I guess we probably need to explore doing that again sometime in the future. But, to be able to have other people on that are doing shows like what we're doing here and what you do with your evening videos and stuff, I think it's important. We're trying to focus on doing that, at least sprinkling them in throughout interviews that are otherwise might be unique, or somebody that's not doing what we're doing here. So if you guys have any suggestions, let us know if there's anybody that you would like for us to bring on to do that. Because, I mean, these shows wouldn't be the same without you guys hanging out with us. No audience, there's no show, right? So if there are anybody, make your suggestions, let us know. Just know that we only do, like, for example, Comfy Sunday once a week.
Yeah.
So give it time. We have other ones that we are working on that we're pretty excited about. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to hanging out with Scott. He's such a good dude, and I'm glad that we met him.
Yeah, 100%. Also, if you guys send me an email with suggestions for people that I should interview or that you want on Comfy Sunday or anything else, make sure you put interview in all caps in the subject line and just make the email only about that. So it makes it a lot easier for me to find it. I know, but Dr. Buttar is a big one. Many people have been telling me to get him on here. The only reason I didn't have him on before is because all the videos that he was in got deleted. And I can't even get the interview with Dr. Judy to upload to BitChute. I don't know what I'm going to do, you guys. I can't get it to show up anywhere. There is quite a few people who have emailed me even just since we started the show. Looks like I got an email from X22 Report, so we'll see what that's about. But either way, guys, thank you so much to everybody for being here with us today. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting Methods and I and the work that we do. please consider, if you haven't yet, like then share this broadcast. If you haven't checked for a while, make sure you're still subscribed. Make sure that all notifications are turned on. Make sure that at least once a day you tell people to subscribe to Red Pill 78 channel, because this is where the real news is. We've got a 6 o'clock report coming up tonight. My buddy Bob Kudla is going to be joining me. We're talking about craziness in the United States. And then again, Mariam Hanane on Friday, Praying Medic on Saturday, and Scott from Woke Societies on Sunday. And then we start all over again next week, you guys. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, everything that you do. I appreciate your, your love and support. And I think we just hit another 1,000 subscribers. I think we had did we hit 228,000 or 229,000? 228,996. 4 more subscribers away from 29,000. You guys, I'm sure there's 4 people here who have not subscribed to the channel yet. So please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit me over that 229,000, and that way we can continue to do the work that we're doing. Methods, as always, thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you on this program, and I'm so glad that our lives have taken the twists and turns that they have to bring us to where we are right now.
Right. Yeah. Like I always say, 3-5 years ago, I wouldn't be expecting to talking to everybody and hanging out like that. Somebody in the chat was asking again for the 412 Anons live link. I'm just going to spam the chat again with it. I'll be hanging out, at least listening in the background. Might try to pop in the chat over there, but that's going to be an interesting conversation with Dilly and, quite frankly, all great people. But yeah, once again, man, another great show, another great week. And I'm excited for the future. Much love, everybody in the chat. And everybody have a great rest of the day, great weekend. And I'll be back chatting with you guys on Sunday.
Awesome, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck and God bless.